Crime, crime, crime at every turn. And it's the obvious aspect. One where criminality goes unpunished. Most of us see it, yet we keep pretending the system's gonna handle it. But one man just stopped pretending. Welcome to MBM's Session 32. Tonight we're not here to retell the 1989 movie beat for beat. We're walking inside the skull of Dolph Lundgren's Frank Castle. We're dissecting the exact psychological moment the good cop lost his grip on reality. Frank Castle became something the world had never seen before. See, he wasn't born in the comics or in some training montage. He was a decorated police detective. A family man. A guy who still believed the badge meant something. Then came one parking garage explosion. A mob car bomb meant for him. Instead, it was his wife and 2 daughters who were the targeted victims. In a single flash of fire, everything that made Frank Castle human was gone. The system he swore to protect? It failed him in the most personal, unforgivable way possible. The guilty didn't just walk free, they laughed while the innocent burned. That's not just trauma. That's betrayal at the deepest level. And betrayal like that doesn't fade. It mutates. After the blast, the world thinks Frank is dead too. But he doesn't die. He disappears underground. Literally into the sewers. Along the way, he undergoes a final transformation. He doesn't have a theatrical breakdown with laughing fits or face paint. No. Dolph's Punisher goes quietly, and coldly insane. He starts talking to the ghosts of his dead family like they're still sitting there with him. He methodically erases 125 criminals in 5 years. No trials. No appeals. Just stone-cold punishment, all of which is delivered with his bare hands, knives, and he even has a sidekick. Well, more so a drunk acquaintance named Shake. This isn't Hollywood revenge porn. This is a man whose moral compass didn't just break. It got replaced by a new one forged in the fire of that explosion. He looks up at the sky and screams the question we've all felt in our darkest moments. Come on, God, answer me. For years I'm asking you why? Why are the innocent dead and the guilty alive? Where is justice? Where is punishment? Or have you already answered? Have you already said to the world, here is justice. Here is punishment. Here. In me. That's the psychological core of Dolph Lundgren's Punisher. He didn't choose to become a vigilante. The world chose for him the moment it killed his family and kept spinning like nothing happened. He's not fighting crime out of anger anymore. He's become the answer to the question no one else would face. No, here's where it gets even darker, and this is the part most people miss. Frank Castle's spiral is a mirror to another broken man we all know, Arthur Fleck and Joker. Both started as guys who still believed the system was supposed to work. Arthur got betrayed by the city that mocked him, by the institutions that abandoned him, by the very people who were supposed to care. Frank got betrayed by the mob that decided his family was acceptable collateral damage, and by the system that let it happen. Same fracture, different masks. Arthur painted his face and danced down the stairs laughing at a society that never cared. Frank put on the skull logo, and went to war without ever raising his voice. He became one with chaos. The other became cold, relentless order through violence. Both asked the same question, if the world won't protect the innocent, then who will? And both answered, I will, living in those sewers. Frank isn't just hiding, he's punishing himself too. Every criminal he takes down is another reminder that he couldn't protect the people who mattered most. He's bitter, depressed, running on pure hatred and a death wish that never quite lands. Dolph Lundgren plays it perfectly. This hulking, silent force of nature who looks like he could crush the world. However, when looking underneath there's a man completely devoid of joy, completely lost. That's what makes this version hit so hard. It's not glamorous. It's tragic. Frank Castle didn't lose his grip on reality in one big dramatic scene. He lost it slowly, quietly. One unanswered prayer at a time. until the only reality left was the one where he became the punishment the world refused to deliver. So what does Session 32 leave us with? In a world still drowning in crime at every turn, where the guilty wins, while the innocent pays the price, Frank Castle's psychological break forces us to ask the uncomfortable question: how much betrayal can a good man take before he stops asking for justice? He himself becomes it? Are we watching a villain being born? Or are we watching the only sane response left in an insane system? There's just not a clear enough answer to say for sure. But Dolph's Punisher does. He's down there in the dark, still waiting for God to reply. And until that day comes, he'll keep tabs on the bad guys. No, there's one last thing surely most of you want to know, and that is what possibly goes on in the mind of Frank Castle's alter ego? Well, it's not too much to go on, due to the fact this is an old late 80s action flick. Nevertheless, we're left with what critics and moviegoers thought about it at the time. The key aspect will always be the individual playing as the character, in this case Dolph Lundgren, whose performance with barely any speaking lines made him the individual actor to portray the infamous anti-hero. He sported a haggard look, he was constantly brooding thanks to his physical stature, and don't forget to toss in his raw physical strength as shown in Rocky IV. The most interesting area was his psychological state, which is crystal clear to show the audience, which set the mood of the film and his character. Know what reviewers and fans described his mindset, which is basically this: they see him filled with pure unrelenting vengeance, mixed with emotional numbness and a death wish. So say hello to Charles Bronson Rusty Trusty 357 Magnum. He's definitely not a hero having fun, no, he's a husk of a man who's lost everything that made life worth living. The only thing keeping him going is the same thing that fuels Bruce Wayne aka Batman. He's so out of it, tells people that he feels pain or just welcomes death. He's looked at as haunted and half crazed. Then comes the random flashbacks and nightmares surrounding his family's death. That's not to mention how he lives in literal filth in the sewers. He prays naked to God asking for a sign that what he's doing is right, a standout scene that shows doubt beneath the rage. This guy is looking for the perfect day and hill to die on. So fans and critics sitting back thought Punisher's actions as total mentality depraved and tortured, especially when you see him treating possible diseases after getting wounded with a sour outside sad inside vibe. He's got that cold and brutal calculating demeanor, and it can suddenly shift where you'll see him crumble with sorrow when his family comes to mind. Castle favors black and white moral absolutism. His internal logic is simple and absolute, so when he tells his former partner, "If you're guilty, you're dead," yay, so there is no gray area, no redemption for criminals, no interest in normal life or relationships. It's less crazy and more a complete psychological break into vigilante mode after the legal system failed him. So what wins over the longtime fans of the character is how Lundgren nails the raw unfiltered inner torment better than some later portrayals. He's not brooding with whiskey like Thomas Jane's, or the PTSD flashback heavy John Bernthal Punisher type character portrayal. No, Lundgren is just gone, 101% silent instrument of punishment. All in all, the movie doesn't explicitly diagnose him, or dive into war trauma. He's seen as a deranged ex-cop fueled with insatiable vengeance. Alright, drop a comment, and say what you think about the psychological aspects that helped to create Marvel's The Punisher. So if you liked what you saw and heard today about this informative topic matter, then smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe to Mind Blast Mechanics, where we dive deep into the observations that matter. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you have a question to be answered, don't miss our next video, so make sure to tap that bell. Thanks for watching.